you guys, it's Froggy again. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about lining here in Mega Studio 5 slash Clip Studio Paint. I'm using a sketch generously allowed by my lovey, which is Dark Love It, and I will have a link for her in the video description, and I'll try to stick one on the screen. So, like I said, I do try to keep these videos short, so I'm not going to go through the entire process, but we'll kind of get like a crash course going on. So first what I'm going to do is, because this is a pencil on paper sketch, I'm going to go to selection, select color gamut, making sure that I have right here, I have the actual paper sketch layers selected. I'm going to select the white, press OK, hit delete, deselect, turn down the opacity, put it on multiply. If you do put it in a folder like I do, make sure that you set your folder to multiply or to through. If you just want to turn the layer, there is a folder layer style called through, and that just makes it so that the folder doesn't affect the layer style. Okay, I'm just going to leave mine on multiply because it's easier. Now, I do like to vector line. Once again, I know not everybody does, but I do, and I will show you how to tackle the pen tool puts down too many control points issue, quote unquote. Now, I have the line drawing pen, which I made from the pencil tool. I understand, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I understand that Manga Studio, the website, has a decent one that was a decent custom line drawing pen as well. So you may want to travel over to that website and check that out. But that's up to you. Now, I do find that lining with pencil tools is a little bit easier than lining with pen tools, and I will explain myself here. Now, the G pen is kind of your basic pen, or for me it is. So to line with that, there's something about the way that pen tool moves that I just don't care for when you look at it compared to the pencil tool. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's the stroke at the end of it or what, but I don't like the way that it lines, so I do use pencil tools. As you can see, I have my stabilization cranked all the way up, and that's important for me because otherwise my lines would look like this. Okay? Alright, so that's just two ways that you can line. Your pen tool of your choice, a pencil tool, and I'll show you, if you don't want to download any special brushes or anything, your mechanical pencil tool will kind of be along the same lines. As you can see, it is quite a bit furrier. And then if you're going to be kind of even more like me, where you're like, oh my god, everything has to be perfect, another thing that you can use is it's your vector tools, and it's the continuous curves tool, and that's the one that allows you just to drop control points. Alright, so to kind of tackle the issue that we were just talking about where the pen tool drops too many control points, what you can do is you can pick up your vector correction tool, and that one will contain the control point editor, your other various editing tools for the vector line, and what you would want to grab. The tool that you would want to grab out of that is your Simplify Vector Line, and you just kind of take that highlighter over all these hand-drawn lines, okay? And you see they do change a little bit, but when you when you go in to edit your control points, you can see the difference. This is a before kind of shot of all the control points in that hand-drawn line, and this is after you've simplified them. And of course, when you move your control points, you can always add a control point and kind of flesh that back out. And that's for your hand-drawn control point, or your hand-drawn vector line. Another decent tool to use, of course, is the darker pencil tool, because it just gives you a real nice basic line. And as far as nibs go, I can switch pens. I have a brush nib in this pen, And you can see the slippery, and like it's a hard plastic nib made by Wacom. It's got the spring in it. You can see how the more slippery your nib is, the more, the less, blah, I can't talk today. The more slippery your nib is, the least control you have over the line that you're making. So I'm using a flex nib. These are the rubber ones that have the white in the middle with the black. And these are also made by Wacom. You can see kind of the difference in the line quality. Something else that I've noticed has kind of affected the quality of my lines is if my tablet is dirty, the quality, like the slipperiness, the surface tension goes way down. So you always want to make sure that you are cleaning your tablet with something that won't damage it. I use screen wipes that are, of course I'm using a Cintiq, so mine is actually a screen. Always check on, I don't know, the Wacom website. Just make sure that you're not damaging your tablet. I would never want anybody to damage their equipment. And that's just kind of how I would go through and line all this. Of course, for the smaller details, especially like pearls and things like that, you want them to look the same. So that is something that I would use these vector tools for. And the more you do it, the faster it goes. You know, so these minute little not minute, but minuscule little details. Definitely want to use something that's more precise to line those. And that's just kind of a crash course on how I line in Manga Studio. Of course, credit for this sketch goes to Dark Lovett, and once again, I will provide a link to her. She's got some fantastic work. And of course, if you like this video, subscribe, thumbs up, and you can always support me on Patreon or see more of my work on Facebook, Instagram, DeviantArt, etc., etc., etc. Have a great day.